And welcome back to the channel. So this video is part of the knife throwing games, exercises, drills, test and evaluation playlist. Now if you want to know the mission statement or the idea behind this playlist, please look up the introduction video. So this video is more as the exercises and drills category. Okay, I did say that in the introduction that there are no order within, these are not like a school curriculum or a club curriculum, but for anybody who would like to be an instinctive knife thrower, doesn't matter if it's instinctive no spin, instinctive half spin, military half spin, this particular drill should be the first drill that they look at. Okay, now this is not my idea. I've been doing this drill for a long time. I learned it from the internet. Now, but there was no official name for it. Okay, and still this is not an official name. This is just my description on it, because everything works well if it has a name. So I kind of thought really hard and I brainstormed it. So after a long and hard process, I came up with this very catchy title of basic drill number 1. Okay, I kind of hope that you guys appreciate the effort I put into coming up with this real catchy name. Okay, or maybe you laughed at this. Okay, now doesn't matter what you call it, this should be the first drill that you do. Now what you will realize later, that the first 2 drill, they kind of interconnect, and then the second and third are interconnect, and once you get relatively okay with them, all of them kind of interconnect. Well, that's for later. So what do you need is, you need 3 of the same either knife or implement, doesn't matter, whatever you're throwing. You need 3 distance marker. Okay, now I have 2 plus the edge of the carpet, so doesn't matter, make it 3. Okay, what you need to decide is a maximum distance, or actually a minimal and a maximum distance. Okay, now make your maximum distance that's somewhere where you're about at least 50% stick rate. If you're below that, you may not get the full benefit of the exercise, or you might get frustrated with this particular exercise or drill. Okay, so get your maximum distance, get your minimum distance somewhere down range, and halfway through, that's gonna be your middle distance. Okay, now you want at least 1.5 feet or half a meter, 500 millimeter between the distances, and you don't want more than a meter or 3 feet between the distances. Okay, now I know 3 feet is only 0.915 of a meter, but let's not hair split here. Okay, so don't make your minimum and maximum more than 2 meters apart, and don't make it more than or less than a meter together, but they don't have to be exact meterage. Okay, it can be 3.2 or 3.5 meter or 2.7, doesn't matter. The only thing matters is that the increments are equal. Okay, so with that said and done, that's about 3.2 meters. So we're going to start. This is going to be my first distance. I'll make 2 feet. That's going to be my second distance, and I add another 2 feet. That's going to be my third distance. Okay, so then what you do is you get your 3 implement, you get to the first distance, and you throw your 3 implement. Okay, get to there, throw 3, you retrieve it, doesn't matter if you drop one or you don't, we're going to talk about in a minute. You get to the second distance, and then you throw 3. And then you get to the third distance and you do exactly the same. You throw 3 again from the third distance. Okay. Now, the important part is you throw multiple implements from a distance before you move to the next one. So having one implement and try to do this drill is not beneficial for this particular drill. Because what are we looking for? Why are we doing this drill? And what you've seen here was a perfect example of why are we do this. This is for developing muscle memory or repeatability within our muscle memory. Okay, so you throw your first implement, and if it's a perfect stick, then you try to repeat it 2 more times exactly how it was. You miss one or you drop one, doesn't matter. You're trying to repeat it. Now, if your first throw was under rotated, because yes, with instinctive knife throwing or no spin, you can still under or over rotate. If your first knife was under rotated, you try to correct it. So the second one's gonna be perfect and the third one's gonna be perfect. Okay, so you keep repeating and correcting your mistake. So you get to the first distance and you throw one, and I want to try to under rotate this. Yep, it's relatively under rotated, it's on a bad angle. So now I know it was too much extra pressure, so I'm going to remove some of the anti-spin and try to get this next one. That went exactly the opposite. Okay, now I removed too much. I need to put it back, dial it back a little bit. And that was perfect. Okay, and this is what's the key element of this exercise, is that you go to a distance and you can change or adjust your throw to suit, to have a better outcome. Then you move to, you're not spending too much time there, you're only spending 3 throws, sorry, 3. Then you move to the next distance and you do the same, and then you move to the next distance. So this is a very, very important part of becoming an instinctive knife thrower, because you're increasing the distance but you're still giving yourself time to learn or adjust. Okay, and once you get to that, at least 2 out of 3 throws are really good, then you can move on and do other stuff, right? Now, the big question sometimes asked, how long should I do this exercise? Okay, my personal preference is do a 5 or 10 set of this and then move on to something else. Now, and how long should I do this exercise? Well, as long as you feel like you're liking it or feel like it's beneficial for you. I'm going to talk about evaluating these exercises a bit later, but bear in mind that this is one of those foundational things that I still go back, and it is sometimes, because I vary my warm-up routine, but sometimes this is still part of my warm-up routine. I go to a distance, throw 2 or 3, move to the next distance, move to the next distance. Okay, so I don't think you will ever going to get to a stage when I do not need to do this drill is beneath me. I don't know, I think it is part of the continuing learning curve, because once you're okay on those 3 distances, you should be moving the distance away. So you're increasing the distance and increasing the distance, keep increasing the maximum distance. Okay, so I hope it was helpful for somebody, or at least you get a good laugh out of it, something like that. In any way, thanks for listening, and See you at the next video. Thank you. Bye.